Welcome back to the second half of Newsbreak Live, and joining me tonight is Lili Trujillo. She's the founder of the organization called Street Racing Kills. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, Lili.
Thank you, HIBAH.
And Lili, you've turned your story of tragedy into hope and keeping your daughter's legacy alive. Tell me about the organization you've created, Street Racing Kills.
Well, it all started in December 2013 when my daughter Valentina passed away. I had just dropped her off at her friend's house with another girlfriend. They were just gonna go ahead and have a night, just a night with the girls, just being together. And there was 3 of them. I had no idea that they got invited to a kickback party. One of the girls wanted to really go, and she called a friend of a friend, and he picked them up and took them to the party. On the way back to the party, unfortunately, while taking them back and taking Valentina and her best friend to spend the night at her house, found an old co-worker that he had worked with, and on the way they challenged each other to a street race. And as they took off and he kept going, and he passed a red light, hit an SUV. After that, crashed against a pole, and this was in Wilmington. And my daughter Valentina passed away. I had no idea about this. They called me at 1:30 in the morning. I had to go look for her. The other 3 survived. She was the only one that passed away. So it took me a while to recover. The Torrance community was amazing in the support that they gave me at the time. There was a lot that I didn't know what happened until later. It was a shock. I couldn't even look at the police report when it was explained to me exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. It was later on, through the grieving process, through going to work again, just trying to see what killed my daughter, what happened, what was it. And I know that hadn't he done the street race, the impromptu street race, my daughter would still be alive. And there not been any drinking involved, or maybe in everything that was involved when this happened. And when this happened to me, I said to myself, this is not normal. Mm-hmm. This is not supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. She didn't die from a disease. She died from something that could have been prevented. Mm-hmm. It is the worst parent's nightmare. It's a pain that it never goes away, but you got no choice but to learn to live with it. And I decided to myself that there was no way that I was gonna let any parent go through what I'm going through. It's not supposed to happen. And I was not gonna let my daughter's death be in vain either. As time passed by, because this happened in December 2013, mm-hmm. 2014, they asked me to speak at South High if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And all I had was a poster of my daughter. And mm-hmm. that's how I walked into school. Mm-hmm. And I spoke to the kids. And I was like, it actually felt like she was with me. Mm-hmm. And I saw the impact of just sharing her story to these teenagers, what it did. Mm-hmm. And I was asked to go after to Torrance High. And this time I said, you know what? I have some pictures. Mm-hmm. I have more things that I can show. The mm-hmm. daily risk cover. That's when I first saw pictures of the memorial and the funeral. Mm-hmm. And in those pictures, actually, my son is hugging me. Mm-hmm. I'm not hugging my son. Mm-hmm. It's the first time in my life that I wasn't there for him. He was mm-hmm. there for me. Mm-hmm. And these are all examples mm-hmm. that I use mm-hmm. when I'm doing now my presentations and when I started doing the presentations. So that's later on when they say, you know what, I'm gonna do more and more. It just kept giving itself, mm-hmm. and the name came out of Street Racing Kills.
And the organization, tell me more about it, because mm-hmm. it's kind of a silver lining. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've told me that, it brought hope to you to make sure no other parent goes through what you've been through.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
So tell me about what kind of awareness you're trying to spread with your organization.
Well, first of all, what we're trying to do is start from scratch. I believe it started from the youth, teenagers, young adults. Mm-hmm. Is regarding awareness. We mm-hmm. have to create awareness of the dangers of illegal street racing. They don't know. They are just learning how to drive, or they're starting to drive. Mm-hmm. They feel comfortable at the wheel. The older they get, the more comfortable they get at the wheel. And the focus of the organization is to create awareness and to save lives more than anything. Spare a parent from losing a child. We're not supposed to bury our children. Our children are supposed to bury us. So the more awareness we can create, the better. We know we are not going to save the world. But for me, one teenager, one young adult that listens, that understands, and it gets touched by the story and by the program is one life saved, and we're sparing a parent there from that.
Tell me more about what you do with this organization. Valentina went to Torrance High, so I know you've spoken there, and your goal is to go to as many high schools as you can, talk to teens, and I know you pass out this bracelet you actually brought to me today. So tell me about that.
Okay, so I wanted to give them something to remember, and I remember I was so fixated. I have to give them something, and I thought of the band, and the band says "Street Racing Kills," and inside there's a message which says "Live for Val." At the end of this of my speech, I give them this band. I wanted to take something to remember. I told them what to do with it, and I asked him to live what she couldn't live. Is a big message that I'm trying to give. Besides that, the PowerPoint presentation is a lot bigger now. We have music created by some of her friends, and beautiful songs that have created for her with video and everything. We have testimonials from her friends that come and talk, which I really, really appreciate. But it is important from one young adult to a teenager, because they can relate, to tell them how it affected them, how her death affected them, and they were going through as well. I also have a friend of mine who's actually a street racer. He's been a great support to me, and he also comes and helps me. His name is Don, and he comes and he talks to them, and he tells them all about it, the dangers of it, how you can lose control, how you are not a professional street racer. So he tells them everything that can happen. So we're all working together, and and I like it, because when you see some of them get touched and some of them start crying, and I just know they get touched by the story because it's something so real.
And you're truly keeping Valentina's legacy alive.
Yes,
I know you mentioned
definitely.
that to me. So.
Yes, definitely. This is a way of keeping her with me, selfishly keeping her with me. Like I said, I don't want her death to be in vain. She's saving lives. And that's what she's doing. I didn't choose to speak to so many people at once. I go to diversion programs as well with the city of Carson. Other high schools, they have asked me to talk. Parents as well, parent meetings. Anything that we can do to create awareness, that's what I'm doing. And I didn't choose to do this. I ended up doing this little by little. It kept growing and growing. And actually right now, we're also working with the LAPD. There's actually a street racing task force that's out there, and we have flyers now that we pass out at checkpoints. We also have posters that we put at the schools before the presentations, days before, so they start, creating more awareness, and they start seeing what's coming up and what they're going to be talking about. And like I said, it's growing more and more, and we're saving more and more lives.
And there's a great fundraiser that's happening this weekend on Sunday. So tell me why people should come out. What is the fundraiser all about?
Well, the fundraiser is a Zumba fundraiser. And the reason why we do Zumba, because, a lot of people will like to dance, right? And it's going to be so much fun. It involves all the community. It involves parents, involves, kids as well, children, young adults, teenagers. We have great Zumba instructors that are actually like Juanito, Katy Segovia. They're all Zumba instructors, and they're amazing. And they're coming just donating their free time for this fundraiser. They're a lot of fun. We're going to also be having the Coffee Bean and Chili from the Lamo Mall, who's going to be serving iced tea for free. The owner of the studio, which is called Legacy LA, Daniela Nieto, she's letting us use the studio, and everybody can come and have fun. And at the same time, we're working together. I'm not doing this alone. It's a whole community that we're all creating awareness. The funds actually for all of this we're trying to get electronic boards out in the streets. We want them in the streets. We want them on the freeway as much as we can. They are expensive. So we want to try to get as much as we can. So we can put this in the streets at different times, you know, after school, at nighttime when these, you know, young adults are already out and about, you know, and just put these boards out there, get signs out there. Besides the awareness that we're creating in the schools and in the community, let's do that to keep our streets safe.
There's a $20 ticket entry and there's a raffle.
Yes, there is. The raffle is going to be a lot of fun too. We have a lot of goodies that actually businesses from Torrance have given me. So I'm very excited how supportive everybody has been, and telling them, you know, you know, Lou Auto Care. I mean, he's been amazing to me and helping me with the posters, and he's in Torrance, and he also has a shop in Carson, and he's donating me some oil changes, and we have a Madrona car wash cooperating. I mean, you have no Lazy Dog Cafe. I mean, the beauty supply place. Everybody's giving me stuff. So actually, the goodies actually are good. You got car wash for free. You got a bunch of good things, dinners, everything.
So that's that's one way people can come out and help your organization. Yes. What other ways can people get more information about Street Racing Kills and maybe get in touch with you to hear your story?
They can go to my website, which is called streetracingkills.org, and there they can see what everything it's about. They can see interviews, and there's a donate button as well, so we can, you know, keep helping and keep saving lives.
Well, Lili, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for keeping your daughter's legacy alive.
No, thank you. Thank you, Heva, so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for being interested in my organization. And I know that together, everybody here, we're all making a big difference. And please, everybody, live for Val. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And here's the information for the Street Racing Kills fundraiser this Sunday. It will take place at Legacy LA Dance and Fitness from 10 a.m. to noon. It's located at 2408 Lomita Boulevard. And as Lili mentioned, you can find more information on their organization at streetracingkills.org. They also have a Facebook. You can also email them at streetracingkills@yahoo.com. So I hope all of you guys will go out for this great fundraiser. Well, that does it for Newsbreak Live. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. And for Facebook and Twitter users, use Newsbreak Live hashtag. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.